Hi everybody, it's Tara Plaki here, aka the Womb Worker, and welcome to today's episode of Womb Loving Wednesday. And who else would be with me but Wonder the Womb, giving you an ovary wave hello. Now, in all seriousness, and I do love Wonder, in all seriousness, today I want to talk to you about a second PMT. As if one wasn't enough, we got two coming in. Now, the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because it's come up loads in the last, over the last month. And we always hear about summer and being in this bloom of life and everything being amazing and all this amazing energy. But actually what starts to happen is that we have mid-cycle a second PMT. It's much smaller and it doesn't tend to be usually as exaggerated as the one that precedes just before we bleed. But it's noticeable nonetheless. And I know many women are like, surely I'm supposed to be feeling great, I'm mid-cycle, I'm supposed to be amazing, and actually I'm not feeling so good. I'm feeling irritable, moody, low, and actually I don't have any energy. So it's okay. Now, if we can go back to, if you remember this handy chart, if you want more explanation to this and you haven't seen it, I suggest you go and watch the video in the first video in the series of videos that I did around your hormones in the seasons of your cycle. Now you can find that if you go to the Connect Your Feminine Flow, the top of the page, you'll see that there's a pinned post. Go into that post and in there I've listed and put the links to the 5 videos. Watch the first one and that's where I explain your monthly hormonal cycle. Just as a quick reminder, if we come back to it, so this is day 1, which is when you would bleed. You can see the yellow is the estrogen, green is progesterone. Now, the yellow, the estrogen begins to build until this line is ovulation, and for most women it's around day 14, but lots of women will have that movable either side. But let's say it's around day 14, you'll see that the estrogen levels peak just before we ovulate. And then as soon as we ovulate, that level begins to drop. And it's here that women start to experience a PMT type effect. Now, estrogen is the hormone that makes us feel good. It gives us energy. It gives us mental clarity. It's the one that we start to feel like superwoman on. So when that drops, it's like, hey, I want my superwoman back. I felt good there. For some reason, we find it really difficult when we're not superwoman. And so this can be really challenging because we've gone from being superwoman, we're on it, we're dealing with everything. We've got the energy, we've got the mental clarity for it, we're awesome. And then suddenly it's like, oh, I don't feel quite so good, what's wrong with me? So firstly, it's okay to be feeling a bit rubbish then. You'll pick back up, it's okay. Secondly, ladies, we've got to learn this art of rest and being okay with ourselves. And knowing that where we are is perfectly okay. And don't get me wrong, I'm talking to myself here too, because this is a whole journey. And whilst I do always have the intention to work with my cycle, there are times I resist. There are times when I'm like, really? Cut us a break right now. However, when I can dump all of that shit to one side and just roll with it, life gets a bit easier. So, and I end up being much more loving and compassionate to myself. And I would really advise you to do that yourself. So, my points from today's cycle, it's okay to have a second dip. However, you've got to know what your cycle is. So, firstly, track your cycle. If you don't already, get tracking. Start to see what happens each month. Are you having these rises and falls? Now, point 2, track for at least 3 months, because each month, depending what's going on for you, you might experience a slight difference. Our cycles are very responsive to the environment that we've been around. So track for at least 3 months to build up a picture. Give you a heads up, I'm on 2 years of tracking and I'm not going to stop, because it allows me to understand exactly where I am at any given moment. And for me, with a very overactive mind, that is an absolute must for me, and to remain being kind to myself, to remain in contact with myself, to be able to make the most out of where I am on any given day. That's crucial for me. So track for at least 2 months. At the end of month 3, this is point 3, review, see what's going on. Are you having these rises and falls of energy, mood, physical symptoms throughout the month? Are there changes, or actually are you just low? Are you just flat all the time? Because if you're having these rises and falls, that's good. That's how we want it to be. However, if you're low and flat all the time, this can be a sign that something's up. Now, it's not like, ooh, sinister, scary, but our periods are a really good feedback system to know what's going on with our health. We are very, very lucky to have that health feedback loop once a month. It's genius. If we have continuous low energy and low mood, it's a sign of something else being up. So, firstly, you've got any queries or worries, pick up the phone. There is, I've got on my website I'll include the link below, a landing page that you can go onto and you can arrange to have a free half-an-hour chat with me. Make the most of it, do it. No question is too small or too stupid, right the way through to nothing is too big. Let's have a chat, talk about it. Secondly, go to the doctors. If you're concerned, get to the doctors, look at them running some blood tests, especially get them to look at your iron levels, especially if you have heavy periods and bleed heavily each month. Now, this, if you have low iron, if you're not aware of this, it can lead to you feeling very fatigued, very tired and very low mood. I should know I have anemia and that comes and goes at different points in my lifetime, but it does make a significant difference to your energy and your mindset when your iron is low. So get to the doctors, get some tests done. And thirdly, have a look at your diet. Are you eating proteins, the right sort of proteins, and fats? Have you got fats as part of your diet? They're really, really good for giving us slow, steady releasing energy and keeping us full throughout the day and avoiding these blood sugar crashes that we can experience if we're eating a lot of refined carbs or drinking a lot of coffee and having sweets and sugar. So it's something to have a sense check what's going on in your diet. And again, with all of this, if you're uncertain, if you're not sure, arrange to have a chat with me. Don't be alone with this. There's already too much taboo BS that's out there. There's already enough body shaming BS that's out there. Don't add to the pile. You've got a curiosity, you've got a query, have a chat to me about it. And know that you're not alone in any of this. We can start to navigate and give you some really good suggestions that are going to be able to support you to get back on track or to learn that bit more about your body and some of the best ways to work with it. So, that's Tara, and let me just get her back. Wander the Womb for this Womb Loving Wednesday. If there are people that you know would really benefit from this video, please tag them into it. It's really important that women get access to this information. Secondly, like I always say, if there are other women that you know would benefit from being inspired about knowing about their body, receive positive messages, and actually will be really empowered for me and Wonders to be supporting them and this amazing community that is Connect to Your Feminine Flow. Honestly, I get humbled each and every time a woman jumps in to support another woman with some advice and some guidance. Honestly, it's such an amazing community and I thank you so much for that. But don't keep it to yourself. This isn't about having a secret. This is about having an open, empowering community to invite other women along. I promise. This is stuff that women need to know. So, book in with me, get to your doctors, have a look at your diet, track your cycle, own it, ladies, invite other women into the group. And now I'm waffling. My womb is waffling for this Womb Loving Wednesday. Love to you all.